Hi there, welcome to IDX TV. I'm your host, Avijah Scarbrough, and we're at the WMX Americas event in Miami, and I'm joined by some amazing people. I'll let everybody go around and introduce themselves and tell us about your role in your company.
Yeah, hi, hello everybody, I'm Rudee. I'm the co-founder of IDX TV, and also ex-customs broker, professional, cross-border, professional, and yeah, that's me.
A lot of titles.
All right, Neil.
Hello everyone, my name is Neil. I am the founder, one of the joint founders of NG Terminal. But in the last 10 years, I was working with Rudee, my great mentor and my boss, previous boss. Now we're working as a partner. So I'm very glad to be here.
All right.
And my name is Mirja, and I have been in the logistics and supply chain industry, primarily cross-border, for the last 25 years as well. I have been working with Rudee and Neo for the last 10 years through different roles and companies I have been at. And at the moment, I do actually work under the ATEM Group, which does represent different brands. One of them is NG Terminals. And my role is to look after the US market and actually explore the potential for these brands in the US.
Wonderful. Well, you all have such a history together and an interesting journey. So, Neil, how did you get to where you are now? Tell us a little bit about the backstory.
Yes, it is interesting. I mean, for the last 10 years, thanks to CCL, I've learned quite a lot about the cross-border e-commerce industry. It actually renovated itself a lot for the last 10 years. And especially during the COVID, we were expecting the whole world going to a recession, but the cross-border e-commerce was having the completely different side. It was literally the biggest spike and bloom. But then after that, we've seen another stories happening, unfolding. So during the COVID time, I had a lot of reflections. Getting busy, work is good, but I also start to reflect what could be done more for this industry. So that's perhaps one of the initial reasons why I want to do something more. That's why I created NG Terminal with my joint founder.
Mm-hmm. And Rudee, I want to ask you, if you must be so proud of Neo. He called you his mentor. So how have you helped him get to where he is?
I'll pay you later. Yeah, so Neo and his business co-founder Ange, right? They both worked for CCL. Ange was at CCL for 17 years. Neo was there for over 10 years. And yeah, to be known as a mentor, it does, it makes me feel good, proud to know that these guys have now gone on and they've achieved, bigger and better things, in life. Yeah, I got no doubt whatsoever that they will succeed and they will go far in whatever they do. I'm always going to be here. I say this to him all the time, right? I'm always around, right? You could call me, knock on my front door. I'll always be there to help and to guide you to that next direction if you need it, but you don't. You don't.
I do. That's why I call him a mentor.
Rudee, what is life like after CCL for you?
Oh man, it's weird, right? And when I say weird, because being a founder of CCL started in 1999, right? So it's kind of like losing a child. Do you know what I mean? Because being in it, through it every day, all the changes, and I've seen all the relevant changes come through the pipelines and whatnot, and actually leaving the company in the hands of other people felt strange, right? Because they didn't have my DNA, because it was my DNA within the business, right? So having to look from the outside in, it feels to me like nobody's actually doing it right. Right? Oh. That's how it feels to me.
You want to control.
Yeah, but I can't, because I'm no longer in the business. I'm no longer in the business or around it. Right? So it took me like a long time, like mentally, to detach from the business. Right. But now, I started this year, mentally detached, I'm good. My focus is clear. I now know where I need to go, what my vision is, what the drive's going to be for me going forward. And yeah. So
Great, yeah.
you know what I mean? It's it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
Right? It's very hard to explain, but watching people grow up in the business, right, and having to leave them behind.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's like leaving a child behind.
Yeah. And now you can build your empire. So with IDX TV, do you feel like you're getting your creative juices fulfilled?
Yeah, definitely. The creative flow is coming back. We've been developing the IDX brand for the past 6 to 8 months. And, there's been flaws, there've been difficulties in there. Some industry don't understand what we're doing, but we just have to keep on going and pushing and, putting that message in front of certain other people and companies, organizations and businesses. And now things are finally coming.
Right.
The messages are finally coming.
People are catching on. They're getting with the program.
Yeah, that's the one, getting with the program.
Mirja, so tell us a little bit about what you do with ATEM Group.
So ATEM Group, we always call it as like kind of the umbrella, representing different brands, or been appointed to represent different brands. One of them is IDX TV, Rudee already mentioned, and the other one is NG Terminals, and I'm sure there's other brands coming to get lined up. So basically, I think kind of following on what Rudee just mentioned with IDX TV, I think I'm excited about to actually explore the US market in terms of different industry conferences and look at their potential for us to be a media partner, to really understand how we can position our brand. Do we really want to be the main media partner? Is there maybe something else we can do for selected customers? I think we know the industry, we know a lot of people, so that should be our stepping stone. But at the end of the day, as a media partner, you can venture out in other industries as well, in my opinion. But we'll need to see what the US market gives and what opportunities there are. In terms of NG Terminal, I'm really excited to go back to putting the puzzle together. So this is, while IDX TV is something really new for me, I have not really worked in the media world. NG Terminal is more my backyard. So it's things I have done. I put the puzzle together of different logistics partners, creating a trade lane, measuring the trade lane, dealing with customers. So that's something I've done for many years, something I feel very comfortable with. So yeah, I'm excited because it's once I'm doing things I'm used to and I'm stepping into a new industry.
Yeah, well, I can feel your excitement. It's always great to have a challenge. This whole industry is so dynamic and complex and never a dull moment. We were just having kind of a debate about the current climate. Is there a recession or is there not? I guess it's different in each location. What's your opinion about that?
That's a good question. So I think that we witness a downturn, but my opinion is, what are you going to compare it to? So we cannot exponentially achieve growth percentages we probably had during COVID in terms of cross-border e-commerce volumes, shipping volumes. I mean, that's not realistic. So from that perspective, there's probably a downturn. I don't know if you really can call it a recession. I think people have been sitting here waiting for a recession. But like you said exactly, it's an exciting industry. So if I look at all the developments and investments being taken in terms of the cargo tech sector, all leading to pushing e-commerce volume through the industry, I'm like, where is the recession? Where does the money come from?
Right.
So I think it will be interesting to look what's happening the next 12 months. Me personally, I'm actually positive. And I think that probably it's not going to be the 20, 25, 30% growth, but that's okay because the stores are open.
Yeah.
And people are not just shopping online, but people will never stop to shop online.
Neo, I'm going to ask you the same question as well. You've noticed maybe some different trends within the current climate in Asia. Can you describe how you view the market right now?
Indeed, that's a very good point because we are exposed to many Asian customers. So two of the major customers we have with their public listed companies, really good profile. So that they started a new round of price negotiation reviews, and then constantly we got questions. Is there anything we can do to help save the cost because they are facing a recession pressure from Asia region, is particularly different signs shown in China is for the last 2 years it's closed up, 3 years actually. Yes, it recently opened up, but the economy hasn't really followed back yet. So during the contract negotiation process, review the whole sort of optimization. If there's anything we can save the cost, that's something also speed up the way how we look at our tech innovations, because simply just downsizing or cutting the labor team, that's not a right way, I think, for a company to grow. So instead of that, we have been putting a lot of investment into the IT process. For example, compared with how in the previous company we work, we dived deeper into a certain operation process for returns, for example. In the past, the previous company would just handle either just accumulators, destroy them or return them. But now we design the process, allow the products to be re-fulfilled. We can grade the products to be different level, and some can even re-going back to the market. So that's added value to our customers.
And it adds sustainability as well.
Exactly. So for, rather than just dump them into the bin, we can recycle certain things to, reduce the pressure for the landfill. That's more sustainability protection. So that's one area we think we brought back to the customer. The customer realized, oh, actually, yes, you are right. There's more added value we can do. Other things, for example, for another tax returns or tax reclaim, we automated the process. So rather than we have to go through a lot of paperwork filing process, in the past we used to charge a fee or lots of high fees for this, but now everything is automated. So we reduce that cost, literally doesn't have any pain for us, and then customer can save. So yes, that's the way we find to help customer from Asian regions if they are facing sort of the recession, pressures, and by keeping our price competitive, but not hurting our core value of the company.
Well said. And in terms of vision and future strategy for NG, can you talk to us about that?
Yes. Going back to earlier, you asked why I created the NG Terminal. One of the reasons was I wanted to do more. So because I've seen a bigger potential outside of the box. When I was doing the reflection, I realized, there's many holes. For example, for e-commerce industry, when it comes to cigarettes or tobacco or cigar or wine, liqueur, the people just say, oh, no, we can't touch them because they are restricted goods or they are forbidden. Actually, they're not forbidden. People consume them every day. So there must be a way to help the e-commerce to flow these products. There are many nice cigars from Cuba. There are many nice wines from Australia, from Europe. And one thing I noticed is the developing countries from China or from Asia, they actually have increasing demands of this kind of products. Is that something that NG can do rather than just sitting as a logistic companies, but also have a approach to look at the suppliers? So we then went further. We got ourselves a license first to go to the access bounded license, which we're completely equipped with the guarantee, everything from the local government to operate this type of products. Then we went beyond. We start to collect the product list and start to source the product from UK market. So from logistics going beyond to commerce as well. So yeah, NG Terminal.
Rudee, switching gears here for a moment, talk to me a little bit about your goals in attending an event like this and what is it that you hope to achieve?
Okay, so my goals, like I said to you before, very clear. So I always think big, right? Always.
We know that about you. That's what we love.
Right, so I have big ideas, right? From very early on, always had big ideas, think big, dream big, right? You aim for the skies, you're going to fall somewhere, right? So in regards to IDX, for IDX, where I see IDX is being the major media partner to events, major events, like globally, not just here in the US, not just in Europe, but globally, right? So when IDX is seen, that IDX mean business, right? That's how I feel about it. Yeah. And, if you want to incorporate and work alongside and align, with bigger brands, right? Bigger brands that we understand, we become the go-to people that the bigger brands come to. That's where I see it, right? We're growing, we're getting there, we're just putting the building blocks in place. In regards to ATEM Group, that's more of what Mirja said before, of an umbrella type of company, so that we can have the different brands underneath. So IDX doesn't fit and doesn't suit all, but ATEM Group, we can create different brands under ATEM Group, right? So with the experience that we got amongst our team and the experts that we got amongst our team, we can consult, we can analyze, we can guide and advise in many different areas, right? And again, with ATEM, to think big.
Yeah.
All right. So you have to. Otherwise, there's no point.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Ambitious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love your ambition. I'm so excited because I know that you and IDX are going to put together some amazing events.
Thank you.
So in the future, when there are some global IDX events, what would that look like? Paint the picture of what we can expect stepping into the IDX of the future.
If I had to expand on IDX and turn it into a real life event, right? I would give my customers a red carpet treatment. So all of my delegates will get the red carpet treatment, right? My sponsors will get the VIP treatment. Everyone's going to be treated premium, right? So you want to be able to give, in any type of business, you want to give like a takeaway, right? You want to give like a value add, right? So in any type of business, customer service. So when that customer leaves your store, that customer leaves your event, it's in here and they can't wait to come back. All right, so if you can picture that, all right, then that's what it's going to look like.
Sounds like fun.
It will be.
Right?
I can imagine. I believe you can.
Mirja, I wanted to ask you the same question as well about what your goals are coming to an event like this.
Well, so basically, this is specifically like this event. I mean, this event has been on for, I don't know. I've been here going to this event for the last 10 years. So I think the major goal or purpose, I think, is basically to show your faith. So what happens if you all of a sudden don't show anymore? Because every single person I've been meeting here, people I've been seeing on and off for the last 10 years with different companies and different roles, maybe different continents. But at the end of the day, the industry is small. So I think what's important is to kind of get out, for once, communicate where you are, what are you looking for, and then also kind of understand where those people have moved on to and what are they doing. And then basically I see it as my responsibility to put the dots together and to kind of see, okay, you're here now, I'm here, they're here. So how could we maybe work together? Or is there an opportunity for us to actually do something? May it be business, may it be introducing one another to a person who can add a value. So I think the most important thing is the communication, the networking, and then obviously I would say also an educational aspect is kind of also to understand what's going on in the industry, what has changed the last year. Unfortunately, this year I didn't have much time to listen to the presentations. So I'm still trying to actually figure out how to put things at any of those events together to have the opportunity to network, but also have the opportunity to educate myself. And somehow, I think this event, I have not found for myself the balance to basically be at both. But still, I felt it was a great event, and I had great conversations. And now I think it's time for me and everybody else to do our homework and see what comes up with it.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you. Neil, I wanted to ask you, so earlier you had mentioned excise goods. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so excess goods are usually referred to alcohol, tobacco, or any products containing that. The other type of products are fuel, petrol, this type of thing, but that needs particularly extra license for that. So for NG Terminal, we wanted to bring more value to the logistics industries. We've been doing lots of researches in the market. There have been quite a few suppliers in the market, but the region or the location-wise, they are not in the prime location. So around the London Heathrow, like where NG Terminal is located, there are very, very, very few suppliers. So we try to fill that market to bring sort of a more hybrid solutions. So by having the access boundary license in there, we speed up the whole sort of process of the cross-border logistics with the blends of elements of e-commerce into it. So we can do fulfillment, we can do pick and pack. So everything can be brought to a bounded environment, which is something that perhaps other cross-border logistics companies never thought about it. So hopefully we can create some new things for the market, more values to the market.
Well, speaking of adding value, so if there was one message you can get across to all the attendees here, what would it be?
For this event or for anything like this?
How about if there's one message about NG for the world?
Okay. Reunite and renovate. So that's what I came here for, to reunite it with all my friends, but with a renovated mind to go forward.
Well said. Beautiful.
Thank
Same
you.
question to you, Rudee. What would you say? What's your message to the world?
Mine is simple. It's when you see me, talk to me. When you see me, talk to me. You never know what door's going to open.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're never going to know.
Well, let's say that I were to offer you a free billboard for IDX in Times Square. What would that billboard say?
Here today, big tomorrow.
Amazing. And Mirja, what about you? What's your message? Now's your chance.
Well, I think my message would probably be, tell me your story. So I think I'm actually interested to see where are you, what do you want to do, and how can I help, or how can we work together?
I love that. I love that. All right. Well, it's our final, for our final question, I'll give you guys the opportunity to discuss anything that we left out.
All I just want to say on that, in regards to tell me your story, is IDX, your identity, your exposure, right? So that's where the story will be coming from. So you as a business is your identity. You tell me about your identity, and we'll give you the exposure.
Yeah, I love that. So it's about them.
Yes.
Yeah. Very interesting.
I want to add a little bit, particularly private, sort of, personal message to Rudee is, setting a new business for the last 2 years was not easy. It was a lot of challenging time, especially when the market was going downturn compared with the peak time of COVID. I've seen how Rudee also is going through the process. It's a lot of a challenge for Rudee, just like Rudee mentioned, that is letting a baby go, so that's difficult. So having seen Rudee to carry on going, carry on fighting, going through the challenges and create so amazing team and products, that give me hope as well.
Yeah.
When I was working with my joint founder Angela to help build NG. So we kind of sort of reunited in a way together, mentally supporting each other, and we kept each other going. So my personal message to Rudee is keep going, because your success means a lot to other people who believe in you.
Rudee's like the trailblazer. Yeah. So I can see you're emotional there. How did that make you feel hearing that?
I need to retire.
You can't. So Rudee, who do you look up to as an entrepreneur?
I have so many. I worked for a company called Marken International, right? Two owners that started that business. One was called Mark Adams. The other one was Ken Powell. And so the name came together, Mark Ken. right? So Mark is, he's a big mentor to me. He was the one that actually pushed me, when we first started the business to buy your own units. So we bought our own warehousing and owned the real estate, the property and stuff. So he pushed me on that to do better. And he kind of encouraged to do a lot more cross-border type of business, especially out of Asia and into America and stuff. And just from a business development point of view, when I was doing the acquisition, like selling the company, he kind of guided me through that whole process because I didn't have a clue, right? Everybody wants to grow something, they want to sell, but there's a big old process behind it. You don't really know what you're doing. So we didn't have the money to bring in, Deloitte or PwC or whatever. I had Mark, right? And he used to guide me because he went through the same process, right? And so when I was saying, I'm not doing this, it's just too difficult, they don't understand. No, stick with it, right? And that stick with it went on for maybe 3 or 4 months. But then eventually you get through, you understand, the negotiation gets tough and all that kind of business. But if you got somebody that you can lean on, that understands where you've been, right? Their attitude would be, it's nothing, don't worry about it. It's part of the process. And that's my attitude today. It's not, don't think about it, just do it. Right. Do you know what I mean? That's the attitude. Why are you thinking about it? You're wasting time thinking about stuff. You just need to get on and do it.
If you think about it too much, you'll talk yourself out.
Exactly that. You talk yourself out of a positive situation, it becomes negative.
Right.
And then you're just going to dumb yourself down and not do it.
Yeah.
Right, so.
Yeah. So Rudee, you started out as a small child watching the airplanes go by, right? And you like to sing and dance, you love music.
Who told you?
I did my homework. Did you ever imagine yourself here one day?
Nah, never. Never. Right? Never. But it's the one thing, working in the logistics industry is one thing which I was always good at, but I never liked. Never liked it. To me, it was boring. It wasn't like singing or entertainment or being an athlete. But I took my passion from that into my work, right? And I suppose you could say I was a workaholic, but I took all of that passion into my work and put that passion into the work and had big dreams and big ideas, right? So I remember the first conference or the first networking event I ever went to was in Hong Kong. And there was probably like 800 delegates. And I maybe had like 50 business cards on me. Because the previous ones that I went to, there was, luncheon meetings and whatnot. Anyway, so I remember going into this room and I thought, there's not many people here. I turned the corner, the room opened up. I just saw thousands in my head, thousands of people. But in my mind, I saw millions and millions of dollars.
A true businessman.
Yeah, then you get the bug, right? Yeah, then it's not like you're chasing a dream, but there's a cycle. If you go to one and you don't go to the other one, you're forgotten, right? So, 20 odd years later, I'm still on the circuit, not being forgotten, and still, I hope, making a difference to the industry.
Well, you're unforgettable. I'm sure
thanks.
that once people meet you, they will not forget your face. Okay, Mirja, I'll give you the same opportunity to add something before we let you get going.
I think everything has already been said. The only thing what I want to add to Rudee is, so I have actually known him and his team for over 10 years. And the interesting thing is I actually have been his client and he has been my client. And now we're actually working together. So I'm actually honored to I have had the chance to have a relationship where we basically have been in different positions. Mm-hmm. So, and I think that is always good also to really get to know a person, because they always say like you really know a person when you work for a person or you deal with a person. So, and what I can say is that Rudee's attitude has not changed. He has always been supportive for me, always, I would say, like a mentor, but also a sponsor. So I recently went to a conference there when there was actually really a discussion where it says, yes, it's good to have a mentor and a coach, but all this coaching and mentoring will not really bring you further unless you also have a sponsor. And that's what I can say about Rudee. Different roles, different positions. He always has encouraged me and helped me not to just give up, but actually to be conscious enough and to myself and say, yes, I can do that. And if I fall, it's okay. There's always another opportunity to get up. So, so it's, and that's while I'm sitting here, and I'm honored to.
Well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure speaking to all of you. I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.